2024. Could you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Perform roll call at this time. Councilor Benson,
Present.
Councilor Reuter,
Present.
Councilor Johnson,
I'm here.
Councilor Duval.
Present.
Mayor Ward's also present. Please let the minutes reflect all others in attendance. Attorney Verta, Administrator Rich, Megan Mazuka, and Chief Gatus. Looking for a motion to approve the city council meeting minutes from Monday, August 5th, 2024.
Motion to approve.
Councilor Duval made the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Reuter. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes. Looking for a motion to approve tonight's agenda. Before making that motion, I'd like to remove number 7, closed session, from the agenda. Is there a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
So,
Councilor Johnson made the motion. Is there a second?
second.
Second by Councilor Reuter. Any further discussion?
Mr. Mayor,
Councilor Benson.
in the past, we have passed over 5B, so if we could talk about that.
Make note of that.
Rory, you got
He put it on the agenda already.
I have not put, no, if you want to add it, you can add it.
I would like to add to the agenda, Hoghead discussion.
Okay, we'll add 6C, hoghead discussion. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Brings us to comments and suggestions from the citizens present. The public comment and suggestion period of the meeting is when the city council offers a time for everyone in attendance or watching from home to address the city council. Once we move on from the public comment and suggestion period of the meeting, members of the public will no longer be allowed to address the council unless the mayor acknowledges you. As a general rule, the council will listen to all comments but will not comment on or respond to any comments made by speakers. The council will not engage in dialogue. However, any councilor can ask questions. If you'd like to address city council during the public comment suggestion period of the meeting, please come forward to the podium or dial 218-628-6289. Before you begin, please state your name and address for the meeting minutes. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Anyone addressing the city council will be prohibited from using obscene, profane, or threatening language or boisterous conduct that disrupts the meeting or the security of the public. Is there anyone at this time that is interested in participating in the public comment suggestion period of the meeting? Please come forward to the podium or dial 218-628-6289. We'll give that about a minute. All right, hearing none, we'll move on. Looking for a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda. Before making that motion, I would like to add 5A and 5C to the consent agenda. Councilor Benson has already pulled 5B, and I would like to pull 1A.
Mr. Mayor, if we could pull the one. Thanks, Ted. If we could also pull 1D out of communications.
Okay, 1D. Any other discussion? I'm looking for a motion to approve those changes to the
So
consent.
moved.
Councilor Reuter made the motion, second by Councilor Johnson. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes. Brings us to 1A, Hochschild LMC. I just wanted to let everyone know, as you saw in your packet, that Senator Hochschild has been selected as League of Minnesota Cities Legislator of Distinction for 2024. This was 25 total legislators were recognized this year, 16 in the House and 9 Senate. So just wanted to convey a congratulations to Senator Hoschild for that distinctive award. Any other discussion on that? Looking for a motion to approve the LMC letter. I'll make that motion. Is there a second?
Support.
Support by Councilor Benson. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes. Brings us to 1D, 2024 Para SVF Report, City of Proctor Volunteer Fire Department. Councilor DeWall.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is for Administrator Rich, which would be in turn to our Director of Finance, Leslie Grunfeld. I'd like to see the report. It's based off of 18 active. It does have the accrued liability. I believe there was 3 on the bottom. We have an open, I don't know if it's an ordinance or a policy that we will maintain up to 25, and plus 3 first responders only, which is a total of 28. So I'd like to see that report reflect that liability, not just what we have. Second question to that would be a budgetary question. City of Proctor has in the past made contributions annually to that fund. I'd like to know if we're still doing that, yes or no. And if that could be brought to our special budget, because I think it kind of ties in with that. Those questions answered?
So I can answer that we are still making the city contribution. It's still, and it has been continuously. We just.
I'd like to have a discussion at budget with that. And then just, I know it's a report that the state puts together, but I just would like to see it more reflective with our actual liability, not what-if scenarios.
Yep.
That is all.
Thank you. Any other discussion on that? Hearing none. Looking for a motion to approve the Para 2024 SVF report.
So moved.
Councilor Reuter approved the report. Is there a second?
Support.
Councilor Benson seconded that. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
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 Oppose? Motion passes.
Aye.
Oh, you oppose? Roll call vote. Councilor Johnson?
Yes.
Councilor Reuter?
Yes.
Councilor Benson?
Yes.
Councilor DeWall?
No.
Mayor Ward? Yes. Motion passes. That'll bring us to 5B, legislative agenda. Councilor Benson.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. We haven't discussed this much throughout the year, and know that filings have closed across the board. I'd like to at least begin discussions, certainly as we have candidates running for the House. We should put it together now to see where we stand. And I know I have my list. Certainly not going to bring it up this evening, but certainly at the next council meeting would be appropriate, whether it's for the water and sewer funding, our budget requests from the last go-around. I know that Senator Hoschild has made it one of his priorities, but I think there's probably others as well, even if it's only maintaining our bridges that we have in Proctor, and perhaps some state help with that, since one of them's over a waterway, and the other is over railroad tracks. That would be nice to get some help with that future funding.
Thank you.
So along with Munger Trail and all the other things. So thank you very much, Ms. Mayor. Looking forward to the next meeting to discuss that in more depth.
Thank you. Any other discussion regarding that? Hearing none, we'll move on to 6A. Resolution 48-24, accepting donation, McHero Night. So on July 22nd, 2024, at the Proctor McDonald's, they had a fundraiser for the Proctor Police Department where 20% of the sales between 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. Would be designated to the Proctor Police Department. It was a fun night. I got to participate in it. one of our officers worked the drive-through, which was cool to see, so. But it looks like they raised $411, so looking for a motion to approve Resolution 48-24, accepting the donation.
So moved.
Counselor DeWall made the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Counselor Johnson. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes. Brings us to 6B, Resolution 49-24, appointing election judges for the 2024 general election. In your packet, you can see the list of election judges, 14 of them, plus the 2 officials, Administrator Rich and Megan Mizuko. Just looking for a motion to approve Resolution 49-24.
So moved.
Counselor Reuter made the motion. Is there a second? I'll second that. Any further discussion?
Mr. Mayor?
Counselor Benson.
Yeah, I was just kind of curious. I know that it's always difficult to find volunteers and judges. How many are Proctor residents? Do we have? Just curious.
I don't know specifically Proctor, but I can say all of them but 2 are Proctor area residents.
Very good, thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes. Brings us to 6C, Hoghead discussion. Counselor Johnson.
Yeah, and I thought Hoghead went really, really good. It was obviously a smaller, especially at the downtown that there, but going through my mind as I look back on the last month, 6 weeks, when it was canceled and then came back, and this is for discussion, I'm wondering if the city needs to take a lead on organizing a committee of businesses and community members so that this doesn't happen again.
I can give you my 2 cents if you want to hear it. I think, you know, for the last 49 years, it's been put on by Lions Club and volunteers, and it kind of keeps the city out of the liability aspect of everything. I think the city could help guide, but I don't like the idea of putting together a committee to put on an event of that size. The city doesn't have the staff for it. The city doesn't have the dollars for it. I know we donate a lot as far as firefighters' time, police department time, city staff time already handling the event packs and all that kind of stuff, but I would like to see what, you know, the future holds. It was a small event due to the late cancellation from the Lions Club. And as I've said in the past, for the last 48 years, the Lions have done an excellent job with the event, and I understand where they were coming from, but now we got new businesses and new volunteers lined up and excited to continue on with Hoghead, and I think we see where it goes when they have a full year to plan and put it on. That's my opinion. Any other discussion? Councilor Benson.
As someone who's been intimately involved with it since its inception, the idea was, when it first came around in 1976, was to make it part of the bicentennial. And the group that was putting it together, business people, felt that, you know, bicentennial is a one-off. If you make it a festival, it would be an everything for everybody, with everyone participating. I don't know if the city got involved, if that would be better or worse. I know that there was a time that earlier I ended up being a comptroller for the street dance with all the participating bars, because in part I was on the city council. Horrible idea. Horrible. It worked, but not without a lot of hands. So I think there's ways that the city could help. But I don't
saying take it over, I like your word, lead it, you know, or not. lead,
Guide,
instead,
guide them.
Instead of lead, I like that word better, you know. I don't know, it just, we lost out on some activities that didn't go on because of the cancellation. Yeah, there was a little bit of stuff that went on the backside that should have never went on, but.
No, and I went to the Hoghead meeting at the VFW with the group that wanted to keep this thing going, and they wanted to have, you know, for example, on 4th Street where the kids' games always are, they wanted to do all that kind of stuff. They wanted to have more vendors, but time and permitting kind of handcuffed them because they only had, I think at that time, Kent, maybe I'm wrong, but I think it was 3 weeks away when that meeting was first held, so they only had 3 weeks to get this thing rolling. I know they want to continue with all those activities in the future, at least from what I'm hearing through conversation, but just this year it was kind of a rebuild year for them. So I think the new businesses that stepped up, we have one in the room with us today, and I think moving forward that things will get lined out again the way everybody likes to see it, so.
If I may,
Councilor Rowe.
I did speak to a couple of businesses that have been very involved with it in years past, and it always comes up with liability. You know, if someone donates a bouncy house for kids, you know, who's liable? And that always went underneath the Lions insurance. The Lions took out a policy for it. I'm not opposed with the city getting involved, not taking it on, but we always wait till the last minute. I would like to see those businesses that were involved and did what they could in the time frame, but maybe the city just steers it, you know, a meeting, so that it can kind of steer through the group to help guide the group to get organized, get off, and start planning, you know, who's gonna cover the insurance and who isn't. The other question that got brought up was event coordinator, tourism. I know we've kicked this around several times, but tourism dollars can't be spent because I know there's a issue, but when you regionally connect and bring people into your town, I thought that's what tourism dollars were for. And there's a lot of people that come that used to be in Proctor but live in Florida, Texas, Arizona. You know, maybe that could help out with some kind of indemnity insurance or policy. And I have no idea what that insurance policy costs. Never researched it, never got a quote. But I know that would help. And I know in the past, people that have done a good job of donating their time, energy for the kids, the bouncy houses, et cetera, got a little upset when one year they had somebody else come in and they were paid, you know, $2-3 grand to do it, and here we got a local guy who does it for free, and it's like, you know, I think it would help. So I'm kind of in favor of Councilor Johnson's just steering it a little bit to get it going and get some people in charge of that committee, not our committee, but the Hoghead committee, made up of those businesses, and look at it sooner rather than later.
No, and I would echo my original thoughts. Any one of us sitting up here has the authority and the ability to go to those meetings at the VFW and help those businesses and volunteers out. You know, that's why I went to the one at the VFW, to kind of steer them in what they needed to do to get their permits for the parade and answer some of their questions. So I agree that it would be nice to have someone from the city help steer this, but any one of us can do that.
I'm just saying when it, you know, I know the staff are extremely busy,
Right, and that's why
but this is a community event. It is big to the local citizens, and I think it'd be okay for us to kick-started a little.
Yeah, and, yeah, I agree with you. Our staff is
And maybe,
limited.
and maybe it is you know, I don't know, I wasn't at that meeting. Everything was last minute, and I know
Right.
everyone was scrambled, and I'm just happy that it ended up the way it did.
And me sitting here, and if I am in 6 months from now, a year from now, I will volunteer to go to those meetings and help them out where I can, you know, but
Maybe not a year from now.
8 months maybe. But, yeah, I'm not opposed to going to those meetings and helping answer questions. I know Chief Gatus also took time out there to attend that meeting, so I think we're on the right path already to answer your question.
And I don't think it would hurt for us to be involved, and I agree with Troy, you know, the thing to do would be to get everybody together, like right after the first of the year or something. Maybe the city could host a
Yep.
hoghead thing, and people can come and talk about the different events they want to do, and we can kind of steer them as to what permits they need or any help they might need. But I like the idea of getting them thinking about it and doing something
Prior.
8 months before rather
Prior.
than, you know, a month before.
Yeah, no, I like it too. And I know, I had a meeting with Chief Gatus before this meeting, and he kind of went over some of the things that went well and some of the things that could use improvement next year. So, I mean, he's already talking about this type of stuff. So, yeah, what you just said, Councilor Reuter and Dewall, it makes sense that at least we could host it, right? Have it down here and get people planning.
Short, simple, sweet. Do it sooner rather than later. The event just happened. Do your, like we do after an incident, after action review, do it soon. Because people are gonna forget what happened, what went well, what went bad. I wouldn't do it. I agree that, yeah, have some type of meeting. You and I went to that meeting to steer them in the right way. We did what we could do, but have that meeting before January. It should be within a month after the event, at least. That's all I say.
I would have been at that meeting, but I had surgery. But one of the things that the Lions did, throughout the first couple of decades, was put together a manual of things that needed to be done when they needed to do it. And unfortunately, for the last 10 years, they've just been out there doing it their own way. Very thankful for the work that they've done, but a lot of those things have been forgotten. Something as simple as contacting the DTA for the detours. We were doing it for years, and then the chief took over for the last couple. Pretty simple stuff, but you're busy trying to get bands or line up entertainment.
Well, then I will propose to Administrator Rich, is that something you can put on the schedule as a meeting? And I don't, if we have all counselors there, it's gonna be a posted meeting, so maybe just a couple counselors and probably Chief, because he's involved with it. And then, I don't know how you'd reach out to the businesses, but maybe we can get some help with that too, to get a list of who volunteered this year and who participated and who wants to for next year. So, social media works magic, I hear.
No, it does not. Because I was supposed to be informed of the second meeting, not that first meeting. And I was never told. And, we're trying to promote it. It was a struggle.
Yeah.
Along with a number of other problems. But, it was new, it was fresh, everybody learns from them, and next year will be much, much better.
And I know that there was, obviously Sarah nephew, but there was more people than her
Oh, yeah.
that need to be thanked for what they did and all that. Katie, you have anything to add?
They have it.
No, I mean, for
He's a
Oh, we
stickler.
gotta go need a mic. No, I went to the second meeting. I didn't go, wasn't available for the first meeting, and in the short amount of time they did, I thought they did an amazing job. I was very impressed with what they got done. But I agree with Kent. That's why I'm here today, because this meeting was so close to the end of Hoghead. I thought there might be a couple more business leaders here to discuss Hoghead when it's still fresh in your mind. That it's much easier to do a recap. Our memories, as we get older, all get a little foggier faster. But other than that, yes, I only have ever missed the first 3 Hogheads. I have been to every other one since then. And there are things that have been lost over the last 48 years that really should come back, especially for next year. We should make more of an effort to have them, as it's the 50th, to bring those. But I agree, I think if you reach out, set this meeting up, if you reach out to the individual business leaders that were there, and they will get, and tell them whoever that they would like to invite to this recap, they will reach out to those that they specifically worked with or whatever, and bring them to that meeting.
We'll keep you posted.
Okay?
Just another item that may or may not help Administrator Rich, but I would assume the chamber, Proctor Chamber, they used to collect all the emails of the local businesses. Maybe you could just dive on that chain to save some time.
Attorney Verta is setting that meeting up. Is that something that we should make a motion on, or can?
Yeah, I think it should,
Yeah.
Correct, I believe a motion would be appropriate.
Thank you. So we'll entertain a motion to have Administrator Rich set up a Hoghead steering committee meeting with a couple counselors, Chief Gatus, anyone, I guess, Administrator Rich thinks from city staff should be involved, and try and get as many people that helped out this year to attend as well. I'll make that motion if there's a second.
Second.
Second by Counselor DeWall. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes. Brings us to members' concerns. Counselor Reuter.
Well, I only wanted to talk about how great the parade was and how good the fireworks were, and I'm sure everybody else had the same comments, so pass.
Sounds good. Thank you. Counselor DeWall.
Just wanted to thank the Lions, Dick and Cookie, for all the years that they were putting this together, and it's not forgotten. And also want to thank all the new people that stepped up on short notice, that dug in, rolled up their sleeves to make it happen. It just shows what can happen when people come together. So thanks to everyone.
Thank you. Counselor Johnson. Thank you. Counselor Benson.
I just want to thank all the voting judges for having a smooth primary election. Certainly appreciate it as part of preserving our democracy.
Thank you. I got a few here to hit on everyone else's points, I guess. Thanks to everyone that participated, volunteered, and hosted events for this year's Hoghead Festival. It seemed like everyone had a great time. And a big thank you goes out to everyone that was involved. Kay, I feel you. This is the first Hoghead I had to miss this year too, so 44 years of it, and I had to miss one. So next Monday, the 26th, we had a budget meeting scheduled for 6 p.m. So anyone interested in attending the budget meeting? Wishing everyone a happy and safe Labor Day. That's next Monday, or Monday, September 2nd. That means our next city council meeting will be Tuesday, September 3rd, due to the Labor Day holiday. And then just to hit on Councilor Benson's, thank you to the election judges that helped out last week, and good luck to all the candidates that filed for office this election season. Chief Gatus. Thank you. Administrator Rich.
I have nothing.
Attorney Verta. Nothing. Brings us to making a motion to pay the bills in the amount of $101,495.01.
So moved.
Counselor Reuter made the motion. Is there a second? Second by Counselor Johnson. Any further discussion?
Just one,
Yep.
check number 2947, is that civil or is that normal?
I'll have to look at it. What, who's the two?
Yeah.
Prosecution matters, so I assume that's the
Oh.
police side, civil?
It's prosecution.
Okay, that answers my question.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes. Looking for a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Counselor DeWall made a motion to adjourn. Is there a second? I'll second that. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes. Thank you.